They've prepared for this very moment, taking it all in. Strategies planned, adjustments made, belts are fastened. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get racing.
I finally know why I can't get an answer. I finally know why I feel like a number. They keep a secret into their mind. They never talk even for telling lies. Make me feel at least like a mother. Make me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can't find a place.
What happened to Mordog? Did he run out of fuel? Looks like, guys, he ran out of fuel. Just making moves all over the place. The 48 tries to dive down low. Here comes Lucky Dog. He's going to let him know I am here and I am not happy. 38 is out of gas. Robots under the apex.
I finally know why the tongues speak louder. There is a secret that won't be mine. They never talk until the
Slide into the turn. These guys are battling it out.
Make me feel at least like a mother. Make me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can find a place.
Hector's flag is waving. We have a winner here
There's a
tonight.
world of things I'll never know. 'Cause everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to AKA's Cup Series Round 6 Under the Lights here at Daytona Superspeedway. Excitement is in the air as this is our first live race on Heat 4, and what an amazing job 704 did. We are so excited to bring you the live coverage tonight for the first time on Heat 4. But let's talk about last week. Last week, AKA Racing League went out to Texas Motor Speedway for their Week 5 race. It was the Bolt 18 who started from pole and led laps early. Mordog Tedeschi and JRM Dohar were seemingly the fastest ones on track. After the battles were all said and done, though, it was Mordog that emerged victorious over the Bolt, Wonder, Sky, and Doc 88. So a great week last week. Unfortunately, we weren't able to air it live simply because Twitch was not working. We tried. We definitely tried, but it just wasn't able to do it. So I want to thank you for joining tonight. And before we get started, we have to do our driver spotlight. Let's welcome tonight's driver for the driver spotlight, where we talk to drivers in the league and get to know them just a little bit better. So let's give a warm welcome to our driver spotlight, Dohar, who pilots the number 88, who is 5th in points with 181. Welcome to the booth, Dohar. How you doing tonight?
Hey Frozen, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. The first race on NASCAR Heat 4. I know it's not first for you guys, but it's the first one we are airing live, so I'm pretty pumped.
Oh yeah, what a better way to debut and unveil kind of the pinnacle of custom setup racing on Xbox, and with a nice 20 or so car field at Daytona. It's going to be a perfect way to cap it off.
I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on your questions. We saw Tack. He has a question for you from last week. If you had an opportunity to be in the pits for one race, which position would you take?
I said it last week while we were briefly on stream. I would definitely be a tire carrier. I don't feel like I'm strong enough to quite be a jackman or quite as nimble as I need to be a tire changer. But I definitely would want to be a tire carrier, lugging those tires around, kind of whipping around the corners really quick. That would probably be the best best fit for me on a team.
And that's got to be really heavy, though, to be a tire carrier and everything. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be tripping, and yeah. Good luck to you.
Well,
on
I mean,
that
most
one.
of the time you see them rolling around the tires, so they kind of cheat away.
Okay, well, that's
they
true.
Cheat around a little bit.
You got a point. I could roll some tires around. I'd be pretty good at that. All right, moving on to NASCAR Heat 4. What are the biggest challenges that you face compared to NASCAR Heat 3?
It's beyond a shadow of a doubt the tire wear. It's really awesome, kind of how the wear now reflects how it is in real life. You don't necessarily see cars going to the end of their fuel run. It's usually the end of the tire run first in real life. So I'm glad that it's kind of replicated that. It's now kind of opened up the floodgates for a bunch of different strategies that could take place in the race. I think, and we'll see it tonight. With how the stages fall, the tire wear being at ×3, I think you're going to see a lot of guys trying short pit. You might even see some guys go for 2 stops as opposed to stretching out and trying to go 1 because fresh rubber is worth it that much. So that's been the biggest challenge, is trying to figure out what works in what race and what situation.
Absolutely. And that's the exciting part. Like you said, it's more realistic. So to have you guys have to figure that out, and it's not like a lot of these drivers has had a chance to practice. I mean, you guys just dove straight in to NASCAR Heat 4 as soon as it's out. So most guys are pretty much learning this together. So it's going to be very interesting to see all the different strategies that come up for this.
Absolutely.
All right. For those of you who don't know, Dohar is an eNASCAR Heat Pro League driver for the number 88 Chevy for Junior Motorsports. Now, as an esports driver, what has been your most favorite experience so far this season?
It's really been meeting everybody at Charlotte for that very first race. I think the thing that separates NASCAR esports from every other esports out there is the sense of community and fraternity that we all have amongst each other, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation or together amongst both. There was a lot of rivalries between us and our PlayStation counterparts on who was going to have the better race, who's going to have the more entertaining race, who's going to be faster, who's going to have the faster pole time or whatnot. But it was just awesome to get all of those guys together, all of us together for the couple of days we were in Charlotte, to meet everybody that had gone through that same process for so many months, to kind of bring it all together and then to celebrate, what we had accomplished, be competitors, but at the end of the day, be champions of each other. And really supporting each other, and then supporting all of our friends who came out who had tried to go through the draft process and then get selected, to meet all of these people that you've raced with for so long, was really a surreal experience. It really kind of just it puts a face to the name that you see every time you're racing with them.
Absolutely.
Really just kind of surreal.
Yeah, and what a cool experience to be able to do all that and then go through all this together. So that has to just be really cool to finally put, like you said, a face to the name, and you guys are the first ones to go through this. So very exciting for you guys.
Oh yeah, by far, and it was really quite humbling that my parents actually flew down from Ohio to be there for that first race too. That just kind of put the feather in the cap of the whole thing. They've been so incredibly supportive. My dad actually is getting ready to try and go for a spot in the Pro League next season because he's had such fun watching me do it.
That's so cool.
And he's watched me race for years, and they used to make fun of me because I would always do league racing back in the '09 days and get so mad, and they'd be like, "Why do you get so mad over a video game?" I'm like, "I'm competitive. I want to win." And now they're seeing it kind of come to a real life thing. And
right.
It's really awesome. I'm so blessed and thankful to have a supportive family like my mom and my dad, who are probably watching tonight. So shout out to them. My girlfriend. I'm really blessed to have so many supportive people in my life of this hobby that I do.
Very, very cool. You gotta love that. Absolutely. All right, Dohar, you guys are getting ready to go to qualifying. So I only have one more question left for you, and the question is, what is the question I will ask Ski next week?
Well, I definitely would like you to ask Ski. He's had a huge run of success lately. He's been running out front. He had a great race at Texas, a really fast car at Texas. He's been winning a lot of the Xfinity and Truck Series races. So I'm just kind of curious, what does that do for his confidence? Ski's been around for a while. He's been racing with us, but it's been great to see him running so well. I just want to know, how he's feeling, and kind of how he feels running so well as of late, and what that does for him going into the future and the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Great question. All right, you guys, you heard it from Dohar here. I wish you a ton of luck tonight. You're getting ready to go to qualifying, so we'll let you go. But thank you so much for joining us in the booth tonight. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thank you, Justin. I just got word I'm sending you the party invite, so I'll be with you. Good luck, J-Mac and Frozen. Always a pleasure to have you guys call it. Hopefully we put on a good show for you guys. Take care.
Take care. All right, J-Mac, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing just lovely, Frozen.
I don't know about you, but I am actually pretty excited about tonight. I think it should be very, very cool. I'm getting an invite from Pro Boss, so let's see. Hopefully, we're already in here. So tonight, guys, we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to be able to join in for qualifying and see what these guys are doing. They're going to be doing a 7% race. Tonight, we are doing a 50% race. It's going to be 80 laps, 3 times wear. They can go 16 laps on fuel. So it's going to be pretty tight. These guys are running around 45.5 seconds to 46-second laps. So I'm excited, but let's go ahead and get here to Daytona. We're under the lights tonight, J-Mac, and I'm pretty excited for it. What kind of driving are you expecting from these guys tonight on setups?
I honestly have no idea. Apparently these guys are hauling the mail. I imagine the closing rate is going to be really, really, really strong. It's really, really tough to push people at this place, but you can get a lot of pull. And if you can keep your momentum up and get a little draft from that guy behind you, if he can, it's sort of pushing on you, but it's not really pushing. It's just getting that little bit of draft. And if you can keep that momentum up, then you can make some moves on the outside. But this is a place where if you have a really fast car, you can obviously do whatever you want. But that outside line, we've learned over time that here you're turning such a tight radius around the bottom that it scrubs off a little bit of speed, so you can get a pretty good run down the straightaways if you have enough people on that outside line.
Absolutely. Do you need an invite, or are you good to go in here?
I'm in here.
Okay, awesome. We're already seeing a huge crash, and I'll tell you what, guys, it's gonna be tricky tonight. These guys are getting used to this game, and I can assure you, with tunes on, it can be very, very slippery, especially behind someone. The car, the draft, everything wants to pull you up to the right, up the track. So it's extremely difficult to go 2 and, if you're really crazy, 3 wide around here tonight. So I'm expecting to see a few cautions on this 50% race, but man, you can just see the pack racing that we're gonna have. These guys are gonna be taking it 3 wide. Qualifying is here, so a lot of these guys are gonna want to take it to the back of the pack so they can get the fastest lap possible. It's gonna be very interesting. Oh god.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of games played here during this qualifying session as they're going to try to race to the back so that then they can draft up to the front. And as long as you're, if you close in on that driver in front of you during that lap, you've run a faster lap than them. So that's one person you've beat in this qualifying session. So obviously these guys are going to be trying to do that.
Absolutely. We're looking at Rocky Top in that 20 car. He is out here currently leading this pack of cars. And they are pretty hungry out here. I'll tell you what, the pack mentality, we've already talked about it so far. These guys are doing team runnings for parties and everything. So they're going to be in separate parties for each team, whatever team they decide that's going to be. So they are not going to have full field communication, which is even more realistic as far as that goes and how they run in real life. So that's going to be very interesting also. They can't say, hey, I'm going to go pit. They're going to have to make another choice into letting everyone know of what they're doing. Yeah! Look at these guys, though. Absolutely incredible. This is just giving you a taste. I have betting out there, so if you do want to place a bet, go ahead and do it now. This is just qualifying. You're getting to see what these guys look out here tonight. I can tell you, Jose was one of the fastest. He is out there running a 45.5. Incredibly fast. And that, as much as that matters on any track and every track, here is just all about, you got to stay in the draft. Keep it clean. You can see somebody on the apron. You're going to allow more bumping and banging and you're not going to completely crash out of, the pack. So they're going to have to really keep it clean, but we're going to see what these guys can do. We're in here with the 22 of Tedeschi. Another really fast one. He has lost the pack though, but I guarantee whoever sits on pole tonight is going to be because they're in the back of the pack. You see the 32 of Cappy go fast. He's got some help out there. A long line for these guys, and being out front is probably not what you want to do. So in my opinion, I would be going up high and letting those guys go around and get to the back of the field there. I do want to give a quick shout out to Kyle McCool. What's up? Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you guys are enjoying the broadcast with my little snafu at the beginning. Ranger, what's up? Rock, how are you guys? Hope you guys are doing well tonight. J-Mac, who are you viewing right now?
Oh, I'm just kind of scrolling through everybody, watching them right now. This front pack is pretty interesting to watch. As Jose was in the back of it, now he's working his way up to the front as they're working their way through 1 and 2 right now. It's just or 3 and 4, I guess, is where they were. I don't know, just watching them try to slingshot their way to the field, and then go back to the high line as the guys behind them slingshot their way to the field, and just coming and going and trying to get down a good lap.
Absolutely. We do have a couple of number changes. Boss has moved to the 00. We have Jose, who is in the 24. Who else has changed? I know we've had a few, but with the new NASCAR Heat 4, you can see on the bottom left, it now tells us who we are looking at. So some upgrades here for us in the new game. I think we're going to see even more as time goes on, which I'm very excited about. It'll help us bring you better coverage, and hopefully lap counts will be coming soon. What do you got, J-Mac?
The 10 of Toaster got the apron a little bit, slid up the track, and it looked like Jose was going to fill a hole, and then Toaster went down and about wrecked the two of them, but they got through it, and they're still going good, but Toaster was now falling to the back. Jose right now leading this group, and he's been up in the front couple of cars here for a little while now. So I think he either is really confident with the lap time that he put down, or he's probably going to be wanting to look to shuffle his way out of this line here pretty soon.
And like I said earlier, he is one of the fastest, if not the fastest, that we talked about. One thing about spectator mode, though, I don't know if you noticed, J-Mac, I can't look around the car anymore. I'm used to doing this. Yeah. So that is definitely different. That'll take me a second to get used to. Dark Hunter, what's up? Hope you're having a great night tonight. We are still in qualifying, so if you want to place those bets, go ahead and do it. As we're doing that, though, I want to take a look at something very, very exciting. Next week, we are going to be having a giveaway, guys. So let's go ahead and bring that up. We're going to be having a giveaway as a thank you for your support of these awesome drivers and the stream. So AKA Johnny Rocket, he has donated a physical gold edition copy of NASCAR Heat 4. So next week, be sure to tune in same time and day to enter the giveaway. You must be present at the time of the drawing to win, and you must be a U.S. resident. So a huge thank you to Johnny Rocket, who has so graciously donated the game, and also to ProBoss, who has graciously put his time and hard work into making this a really great league. So make sure to tune in next week. Get a copy of NASCAR Heat 4 if you don't. It should be pretty cool. Let's take it back to this racing, though. We see Jose in qualifying still out front. These guys running a single file line, trying to get that speed built up. 7% race, J-Mac. They have quite a ways to be able to do that.
It's a pretty long qualifying session, if you ask me. It's like almost a Formula One session. But,
absolutely.
Just here in FP10 or whatever, or Q10 or Q3 or Q2 or Q1. I'm getting all of my metaphors all mixed up. My little brain is apparently had a hiccup there. But yeah, nah, just watching these guys. This is also a good practice session, if anything. Uh, I don't think that with no damage on tonight and with the race the way it's going to be, qualifying probably not going to be the most important thing in the world. So I'd say that these drivers, and hey, it's over, and we're sitting here talking about it. But this is probably a pretty good practice session for some of these guys too.
Yeah, you know, I know they ran a race last night, and I think they either said they went caution free or they only had one caution, which is pretty amazing because I can tell you, I've done several tune lobbies with super speedways, and it can be challenging, and that's not usually what you think of when you think of super speedways, but it is most definitely a challenge to try to hold us steady. Like I said, the draft definitely pulls you up the track, and you really have to be confident in how you drive that car and be extremely steady. I mean, you have one person make a mistake. If you're 2 or 3 wide, you're going to take out the entire field. So we're going to see what these guys can do tonight, but man, I can't wait to see who has pole. We'll have to go back to the lobby and see what we have here. Guys are still going on, trying to get that. Pulling for Ski, Ram, and Delta. Ranger, I knew you would be. Absolutely. Jack says up front is the safest place to be, in my opinion. I 100% agree with you until the final lap, and then I am just holding on to dear life. Because you have a hungry field behind you, and being out front, I feel like the biggest sitting duck ever. I don't know about you, J-Mac.
You can, but if you can get lucky and those drivers behind you start to get all mixed up, then you can kind of take control of the situation and manipulate drivers as you see it. But it just kind of depends on the situation. Sometimes they gang up on you and there's nothing you can do, and sometimes it works out where you can fight back.
Doc and Tedeschi are going to be on the front row. Doc has pole. So we're going to get out and wait for an invite. We still can't get into the lobby. We have to get out, and we need an invite to get back in. So we'll see what happens with that. But Chuck, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I hope you guys really enjoy this race. Daytona, under the lights. Very exciting. What a great, as Dohar said, what a great race to showcase NASCAR Heat 4. I mean, the super speedway racing here is absolutely incredible, and you can easily get 3 wide, 4 wide finishes.
4 wide here is a bit ambitious.
A little bit, but I've seen it happen. We've had, I know we did a super speedway Sunday today, and I think we had some guys going under the apron when they probably shouldn't have. Hopefully these guys will be sitting out an invite. But yeah, 16 laps for fuel. We're going to have the stages are set as 25 for the first stage, 25 for the second, and the final parts of the race is going to be 30 laps, 80 laps total. A great race, and no damage, guys. Damage is off tonight, but it is ×3 wear. So you're going to have tires be a real issue tonight, and I think we're going to see some guys trying to save. Mike, he says, I heard that. If you guys want to place a bet, go ahead and do that now, because we are going to be shutting that down to get ready to go to the race. We have 1 bet for Pro Boss. Let's see if I can remember the code to do this. We'll see if I can get it out there. What is that code? Okay, here we go. I kind of figured that was it. I'll send it up for you guys. Here we go. We're already going to the race. Start of Daytona Super Speedway. Let's get in here. We're getting ready to go. I'm excited. J-Mac, our first race on NASCAR Heat 4. The Coca-Cola 400 at Daytona. All right, we are gonna shut down the betting here. You can see all the graphics are doing such an improvement for these guys.
5. That's good.
Here we go. You can see that 3-car someone has a custom paint scheme out here. Very incredible. We have Doc on pole in that 41, and here we go. We're off for the Daytona night race here. Very, very exciting. This is race number 6. After tonight, we are halfway through. Very crazy for the fall season. We have Jose, who was the winner of the championship for the spring series out there. But Doc already getting a nice little lead out there in front of Tedeschi in that 22. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Look at this. Let's see if we can get a behind view here. But we had a couple of guys hitting the apron, trying to scoop it back off the apron. But I'll tell you what, once you hit the apron, it can really upset your car and it'll move you up the track. We saw Tedeschi do that. Doc hits it right there, and it can really upset the guys around you. We'll see what happens here tonight.
You can definitely tell the drivers who are running with controllers right now, their movements are a little exaggerated. They're a little bit all over the place. It's so tough to hold a line at this place. This is one of those places where the apron can grab you. It's a very, very tight track. Drivers hold a very tight line next to you. It's a really, really tough place to race, honestly.
It is. It really is. And I feel like, like you said, it is a tough place to race. Daytona is crazy with all the little bumps and just nuances about the track. When you're close to the apron, there's a part where in the middle of the turn, it's like a little divot in the track, and it'll just throw you up pretty quick. So you really have to just stay cautious the entire race, and it can be very, very intense. Right now we're riding with JRM Dohar, who was our driver interview tonight. He is out there in the 88. That's a long line for him. These guys are very well single file. Let's see if we can take a look behind him, but man, these guys are filling up the entire backstretch as they are entering turn 3. And let's take a look.
Oh.
We have Jose underneath the apron here. Very, very sketchy back there. J-Mac, what are you seeing as I'm seeing some guys hit the wall?
I'm watching everybody up all over the track right now. There was a big old mix-up. The 00, it looked like, got either sent onto the apron or drove it down into the apron to make a pass, and that ended up really, really stacking up everybody behind him. And now this second pack has really lost a lot of ground on that front pack.
Yeah, they really have. These guys are going to have a little bit of catching up to do. We have Jose leading this pack of 3. And man, if they want to catch these guys, they're going to have to do something and do something quick. But take a look behind them. Trying to get back here. We have the 21, and that's Little Wing. He was going on the outside of Jose, and if they want to catch him, they're going to have to stay single file.
They are, but it's not that group up in the front. It's that middle group. Right now, 3 wide. That is the exact opposite of single file.
That is the exact opposite. Man, I'll tell you what, these guys are getting crazy up here. I absolutely love it. Look at this 32. Cappy go fast. Absolutely incredible. I wish I could take a look behind these guys, but man, oh man, what a great job as they are going 3 wide already into the race. 25 laps for this first stage, and it's already getting crazy.
If you're riding along with Cappy Go Fast, I think looking back would be a very scary look with the way that hood is. I'd say, it's a very interesting looking car. But right now, this second group really mixing it up with each other, really racing each other hard. On the one hand, they're going to be well learned for the late parts of the race, as they are learning what their cars are doing. But right now, it is not helping them as far as stage points in this event, in this stage goes.
Yeah, there's like 2.5 seconds between these guys, and these guys are working very, very hard to try to get up there. A couple of guys getting out of line here. We have a guy under the apron, comes back up. That might bring out a caution. We're going to see what we can find out here, but we do have a couple of cars spinning out as we come to 18 to go. We are still green, J-Mac.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
It just
here we
went to
go.
yellow.
Caution comes out. I was waiting for that. That was very, very close there. Hellraiser, thank you so much for
40.
the follow.
Yep, the 41 of Doc still holding on to the lead with Tedeschi behind him. I believe the 20 of Rocky Top was there in third. And that is their top three. And basically that whole front group had a pretty good handle on things. They had a huge gap to that second group, and they looked pretty content to ride together. And But this will erase everything, and we'll see how this restart shakes out.
Absolutely. We're going to see if anyone takes fresh tires. See what happens with that. Remember, they can go 16 on fuel. Some of these guys are going to have to save. We are, well, that should put them pretty safe considering we are back from caution. Probably right around 15 to 16 laps to go, which probably work out for most of these guys. Might have to do just a little bit of saving, but we'll find out what happens here as the 21 leads us off at the start. Let's take a look. 21 is Little Wing. Some of these guys just only taking 2 tires and doing a quick stop. Let's see if we can get up here with Little Wing. These guys very, very close out there. Yeah, the racing is very tight.
Oh!
00 just all over the 21. That is Boss in that 00. Let's take a look at Expert Toaster on the outside, and it is, man, it is still tough. You can see it here. He is just fighting the outside, trying to scrape his way up through the field, but on the outside, you just fall back pretty quick if you don't have the help. I see a couple of people trying to go out there, but Toaster is trying to tuck his way on the low side, trying to make his way up there, but the 41 is coming through. 41 is Doc. He's the one who had the pole for here tonight. J-Mac, we have Jose, who has made a switch to the 24. He is a very, very fast car tonight. We're going to have to look out for him. If it goes one-on-one with somebody, I feel like he is going to be the one to take it. If they're fighting side by side, if he can hold on to that run, he might be the one to take it with how fast he is. He's almost half a second faster than some of these other guys, and that is huge. It may not mean a lot when you're in a pack with these guys, but side by side, solo, it's going to mean the biggest difference.
I mean, that's going to be a huge difference, and it wasn't that long ago we saw Jose struggling in the back of the pack, and now with a little pit strategy, he's up front, got to start on the inside line, which that is a big help on that last restart, and now he's sitting there pretty in the top 3 and in the middle of a single file line with a bunch of guys that I think are pretty content to stay where they're at.
Absolutely. We're currently on board with 32 of Cappy Go Fast. He is in 6th currently. Looking pretty good, but you can just see how these guys struggle to keep it straight. I mean, your car, it is a lot to handle, especially for this many laps. But these guys are doing a terrific job tonight, as we've only had 1 caution, knock on some wood. But for a new game and these guys getting used to it, Super Speedway is absolutely brilliant. The racing here is just, it's really brilliant.
Lead.
Let's take a look.
The 21 and the 24 went to the outside of I guess Proboss got underneath the 21, and Jose popped out to try to push the 21 by, and nobody went with either one of them. So all of that track position Jose gained through pit strategy is now out the window. He's fallen to the back, and right now Proboss is their new leader. The 2 gets
Rams
underneath
it in
him.
that 2.
Proboss
Sticking that nose
tried
in
to
there.
force him down below the yellow line, but Ramsett wasn't having it, and that was a very good move from my point of view by Ramsett to sneak under him into a hole that was just big enough for him to fit in, and Proboss tried to rough him up, and Ramsett was like, no, sir, I'm taking that spot, and he is now the leader. And Pro Boss, woo! He sneaks into line, chops off the 19. That's going to cost him a couple of spots, and that second group now is falling off of that front pack a little bit.
A little bit. I'll tell you what, that was a risky move by Ramsed. The way I saw it, he didn't have a lot of room to be sticking his nose in there, but he was not afraid. He's saying, let me in. Takes it over, and like J-Mac said, Pro Boss falling back through the field. We have the 22 in second. That is Tedeschi, and look at how close these guys are. Nose to tail, each and every single one of them. And like I said earlier, if you make a mistake, there is no room for forgiveness. These cars will wreck out. It is a lot more forgiving on this game, absolutely. But it can definitely still upset everyone, as we are 10 to go for this stage. Great racing so far here tonight.
And these drivers are all on top of each other. You have one little slip up, you're either going to lose a lot of spots, or you're going to stack up a lot of guys and potentially cause an issue. So definitely some white knuckle racing, even as they're trying to stay in a line right here. This track is really hard to hold a line, and at these accelerated speeds, and with, you know, some drivers on wheels, some drivers on controllers, some different settings, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. This place is just tough.
Yeah, we have 99. Delta Rocket, he is currently back here in a group of 3. We have the 21 of Little Wing, and we also have the 42 of MDL. These guys running together, but man, I know they wish they were up there. We have also the 71 and the 19 off the pack here, trying to do all they can to hang on, but it is not looking good. Let's see if they can catch up to the field. We're back up to the front of the pack here. We have 37 of TAC 24. We had him as an interview. He is currently sitting 4th and doing pretty good. These guys trying to hold that line, but I'll tell you what, we've talked about it. It is tough, but they are doing an incredible job. J-Mac, do you think they will be safe to go? I mean, I don't see any problems whatsoever. With under 10 laps to go, these guys should be okay as far as tire and fuel wear. Man, these guys are really getting spread out as far as like up and down.
Gets, yeah. 37 car got hooked out or hung out to dry there. Just slipped out of line, and like I said, if we just slip once, it's all it takes for a bunch of drivers to take advantage of you. But as far as tires and fuel go, tire not a big issue at all. You'll want to take them eventually, but this is one place where tire wear is not nearly the factor that it is at other places. And for most of these drivers, fuel is going to be perfectly fine, especially for these guys in the middle to the back of the pack. They're probably able to save a little bit even if they're close. The front might be a little bit closer, but if they can run an entire stage on nearly a tank, they should be fine. They should be able to make it from where we had that caution flag.
I absolutely agree. We have Tedeschi backing off of this 2 of Ramza just a little bit. I'm trying to see if he's trying to get a run on him. We'll see if he takes it out wide. What is going to happen here? He hits the apron just a little bit, goes out wide. He is out of line. Doesn't he have any takers to go with him? Doesn't have any takers, guys. That is a tough position to be in as he drops like a brick.
That's all it takes. You try to gin up that run, and you're working that. You're looking at that guy in front of you. You kind of lose focus on where you are. You get the apron. You pop out up the track, and you have no run and you have no help, and that's really tough. But there's a lot of race left for him to rebound.
Absolutely. I mean, we haven't even ended stage 1 yet. These guys getting stage points is a huge thing. It really helps the padding of their points. We saw it all throughout the season. We had Jose who won the first race. However, I believe he was 4th in points. Stage points are everything, so these guys are going to be fighting. I guarantee it. They're going to be fighting for those stage points, and it's going to get very interesting for these final few laps. Here we are. We're up in the front of the pack here. We have a 2 as Ramsit. The 32 of Cappy Go Fast is second. These guys are looking very strong. We have third, Rocky Top in that 20 car, looking very, very good. Fourth is going to be Expert Toaster. Very strong cars out here. 5 to go at the line, guys. Not very much left to go for stage 1, and it is going to be very close. These guys are, I guarantee you, I will not be surprised if we're going to go 3 wide to the finish, J-Mac. I will not be surprised at all.
I'd be surprised for stage 1. I think a lot of these guys are gonna take it kind of easy, maybe. But I mean, they'll definitely try to race each other. But I don't know if it'll get that.
Oh, through the grass. Let's see if they can save it.
That's the 88 of Dohar and the 8 of Tom Tom Flitty. It looked like Tom Tom moved up just a little bit, maybe to see what was going on up ahead or whatever. And Dohar filled that hole. And Tom Tom moved back into line, and the 88 was there, and they both took off for the infield.
Great save by these guys, though. I'll tell you what, it could have gone
That
very
was an
different.
excellent save.
Yeah, I mean, especially on the last game, if that would have happened, that would have been a huge pileup. I guarantee it. And the cars, you can't go through the grass on the last game without completely losing control of your car. Here, it's a little bit more easier to control, and these guys did a great job.
I don't think they wanted to run the sports car chicane there, but they ended up trying it.
They did try, absolutely. Rams is still in the lead. We have 32 of Cappy Go Fast still in second. These guys are...
They're getting a little racy from third on back, though.
I'm telling you, J-Mac, I have a feeling we're going to go 3 wide for this finish. These guys going 2 wide from third on back. Absolutely incredible. I love this type of racing, just to push the limits of the car, see what you can do.
The 20 car had a run, and nobody went with him. He just got completely let out by the 10 of Toaster. That is really unfortunate. Toaster moves underneath the 32 of Cappy Go Fast, lets him back in. He had the spot on him, but he ended up giving him the room back.
That is the stage in. Ramsit is going to be your winner of stage 1. Man, incredible job by him. Great finish for these guys for stage 1, and we'll see what they can bring for stage 2 here.
Not quite 3 wide, but that was still pretty entertaining.
I was expecting 3 wide. I mean, this game can really handle it. These drivers, they are not ones to sit around, so I would not have been surprised to see that. But we're going to start for stage 2. These guys are going to take those tires, the fuel, and we'll get moving for another 25 laps in stage 2. They will have to pit 16 laps for fuel, so 1 pit stop for these guys. Ranger saying attaboy, Ram. These guys doing a great out here. Let's see if we can bring it out front. Here we go. We are on the start of stage 2. Ramsit out front. We have 32 of Cappy Go Fast on the outside. We have Toaster right behind Ramsit. He is going to be second place as Cappy falls back just a little bit to third. These guys looking very, very tight, but that second line is falling back already. We have some contact. Cappy so close. That 21 car getting very close also.
This is when it's at its most tense, Frozen, when they're not up to speed. They've been doing these laps for like 20 laps. You know, the car's handling has been one way. They've had to put their wheel or their control stick a certain way to run a smooth line around these laps, and then you slow these cars down. It just completely throws you off of your rhythm, off of what you think is taking a good turn, and that causes the choppiness we see, especially in turns 1 and 2 off of a restart.
Absolutely. You see some guys trying to take it too wide, see if it sticks. Most of these guys are going to hang out and stay single file. We have the 99 of Delta Rocket trying to take it outside. He's got a couple of takers with him. We'll see what they can do. We have the 8. That is going to be Tom Tom out there. These guys looking pretty good so far. Stage 2. That is a
2 cars starting off stage 2 like he ended stage 1, and that's pretty ideal, I'd say, for him. But that is definitely a very, very long line. These guys are not quite to that point where they're ready to mix it up and start racing each other real hard yet. But I feel like it's gonna get there pretty soon. There's a number of points that are on offer about to increase. So I feel like the intensity is gonna start ratcheting it up here pretty soon.
Absolutely. Your top 5 is as follows. We have Ramsit in first, Expert Toaster in second in that 10 car. We have 37 of TAC 24. He is riding third. We have Tedeschi in fourth. We also have the 21 who was in fifth, but he got moved out of the way. 3 of Blue Baka. I do believe he is in that 3 car. He takes over that 5th spot.
The 21 got a big break from the 20 car who let him back in line.
Let's take a look on board with the 37 of TAC 24. Looking pretty solid out there. You guys can just look at this line and see how they are trying to maneuver around everybody. The draft really moves you up the track. Look at Expert Toaster as he moves up the track. That's the same thing I noticed while racing. When you're coming out of the turn, it will push you up the track. Any little bump will upset your car.
I'm back here in the back with Dohar and Tom Tom. Those two wreck together, and birds who wreck together tend to flock together. And it's always funny. You get into a little tussle with somebody, and then it ends up that you have to work with them to make your way back up to the front.
Look at the run they are getting as they are 3 wide, and he gives them 19. A nice little kick there. That is Osprey in the 19. What an incredible run. I mean, the draft here is incredible, and these guys are in the same team communication, so they are able to talk to each other and say, hey, let's hook up, let's get it moving. But the draft here is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Tom Tom thought about taking that up the middle, made a wise decision to drop there in behind, and right now he's 1 spot away from leading this group. Him, Pro Boss, right now leading this second pack as Tom Tom looks to the outside. He wants to lead the second group, and I think he might have the car to do it as they work their way around the outside of that 00 Pro Boss.
Yeah, he is not happy out here in single file. He's like, let me at him. Come up, join me, and these guys are going double file. We have the Pro Boss and that 00 Tom Tom on the outside. Looking pretty good as we have 16 to go. Doing a great job, but man, that high side is now falling pretty hard back there. If I were them, I would just try to tuck it in and just try to catch that front pack.
Just always so frustrating. You have a great run. You think you're making a smart decision, that you're going to be the hero. You're going to lead everybody in that back group, that you think you have the best car, and you make that move to the outside, and 1 car, your teammate for the race, comes with you, and everyone else just kind of holds you off. But up in the front, it looks like we're maybe getting a little bit of movement out of that outside line.
A little bit of movement. We have that 43 of Ski. He is out there trying to lead that pack. We have Jose behind him in that 24. 14 of Wonder also on that outside. They are trying to make something happen, but I'll tell you what, that inside line, they have the numbers, and they're looking very, very strong out there. The 37 of TAC trying to help them out there. I don't know if he got pushed out there or tried to help them, but they are now going 3 wide.
I think he pulled out there to try to pull him, and he just pulled too far. He let up too much on the steering, and got up a little too high. And those guys, instead of pushing with him or drafting with him, just kind of went around him like, oh, okay, thanks for the free spot, I guess. But that's something that's really easy to happen. That's you see that outside line and you're in the middle of the corner, and so you try to time it right and let off the steering, and sometimes the car can can either not let up as much as you think it is, and if you have a run, you'll clip that guy in front of you and hit him in a really weird spot that upsets one of the two of your cars or just completely stops you in your tracks, or you let off a little too much and you go straight to the wall, and I think that's what happened with him. He probably had to let out of it, and that's how that middle lane, that outside line at the time, then became the middle lane and hung him out.
We have Barnum and Punch who have followed and hosted. Thank you so much for the follow and host. Hope you guys are enjoying the race. We have 2 amazing packs out here. We have that front pack, and they are on it. I mean, they are still fighting though, and we have the second pack that are really trying to catch that first pack. They're doing a pretty good job so far. We have Tom Tom leading that. We have the 88 in second. That's going to be Dohar. In that third spot, we have a Pro Boss in that second pack. Man, we have a car looking like he is tucking underneath the apron back there. I'm not sure who that was. It was a light blue car, but
he has stopped it. It's Blame Freddy in the 71.
I don't know if he's having engine troubles, but he has pulled off. We'll see if he gets back on the road, but let's take this back up to the front pack. We're currently with Rocky Top. He is sitting in 5th, and you can just see how really your car can just go everywhere. He's actually in 6th right now. But these cars have a ton of movement, a lot of checkup. Like I said, if you have one person that makes a mistake, it can really affect the entire field. And you saw Rocky Top. He's like, I'm getting out of here. Let's go to the high side. They're getting crazy down there.
I was riding along with the 71. He stopped, and then he started going again, and I was really afraid he'd pull up in front of that second pack. He almost clipped. Him and Tom Tom almost got together there, but not quite, and he was able to make it through. We're having some pit stops. The 42 of MDL 367 is coming to pit road here.
I was just about to say, we are around the point where we are going to have our one and only pit stop of the stage. So I'm curious, who is going to go together in this front pack and in the second pack? You definitely want to go in together, but they do have a couple of things going on for pit road that you have to watch out for. You really need to make sure that you give each other space going into pit road. They do have flags out, so 10 to go. Some of these guys will be going in. Looks like most will be staying out. Couple of guys
that
coming off the pit road.
Visibly is you can tell visibly that we're hearing in the radio that they're catching them, and it looks visibly like they are as well. It's a little bit ago we talked about Tom Tom trying to take the lead of that second pack, and it looked like he finally did, and he is leading them very quickly back up to this front pack. We have a group of 3 tailing off of this group in front of them. I don't know if that's by design or not, but we'll have to see. They might be heading to pit road here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm curious. Whoa, we have the 14 going up to the wall. He's going to fall back. And with this big of a pack, I'll tell you what, it is hard to get everyone together and keep it clean. I think these guys in the second pack were able to catch him, and here they are, J-Mac. They're here with them. So I think they were able to catch him with all the movement that is going around in that first one, but they are up together now.
Kind of makes me wonder, as far as they're laying back along each other, if that front pack might be trying to save a little something, either to shorten this pit stop. I would imagine that no stopping this would be rather ambitious, so I don't think that's a thing that can be done, but I don't know. It seems like these guys might be being even more conservative than they've been at the start of this race, and that's allowed this second pack to catch them.
Coming 8 to go, guys. Let me know in chat who you see winning. Who do you want to win, or who do you think is going to win? Either one, you let me know. It's going to be pretty close, though. I think we're going to have some guys go down pit road this time around. We're going to see Ramses still out here leading. We have Toaster in second. Tedeschi gives a sign that he is going to be pitting this time around as he goes below the yellow to signal that he will be going in. We have the 3 of Blue Baka directly behind in fourth. Gonna give him some room, and 43 of Ski. I am very interested to see who's gonna go in with Tedeschi. He needs someone to go in with him. Looks like we have the 32 of Cappy. He will be a taker for pit road.
the 8 car was able to pass him. I don't know if that'll be a penalty or not, but if Tom Flitty did not get a penalty on that, that was a heck of a pit road entry.
8 car did not get penalized, so a great entry for him, making up some time there. 88, I'm hearing over the radio, tried to make pit road. That is Dohar. Unfortunately, he did miss pit road. He's gonna have to go around again. That is definitely gonna hurt him for stage 2.
It didn't look like he let off too much. He's still part of this pack, and I think he's going to go around another lap, and the 37 having some issues getting to pit road.
We have a lot of takers.
Really bad issues.
Yeah, I see that. We have Ramzit, our leader, going in. We have 10 of Expert Toaster. TAC 24 is going in. Tom, it looks like over the radio, he has taken 4 tires. I have a feeling a lot of these guys will be doing that. They're going to have to plan it together, though. If you're going to take 2, you want the guys around you to take 2 also. You do not want to be lonely out here. It is very lonely, and you will lose a lot of time. So grab a friend. That is what these super speedways are all about, as we are looking at 14 of Wonder. Look at all these guys going in almost 3 wide up here.
Oh, the 43. Okay, that must have been the AI.
Yeah, I think it was the AI, but either way, that's scary.
But he had did a very good job of getting the pit road. They have to wonder if these guys are talking out their strategies, if they're communicating them. You'd imagine they are. Oh, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on pit road down there. Goodness gracious.
24, look at him making a pass. Let's take a look. I'm hearing the 88 is going into pit road. He was your leader since he did miss it.
And he's all by himself.
And he is all by himself. Exactly what I said you don't want to have happen. So we're going to have a new leader. We'll see who that is as they come around and they cycle through here. Look at these guys. We have some contact with the wall. What is going on? We have the 32 and the 24.
He's in the wall. The 21's backwards.
Oh, 21. We have some flipping out here. Whoa. Absolutely incredible. That is something. I'll tell you what. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. In the meantime, let's take it over to Expert Toaster. That's definitely gonna hurt. That is definitely gonna hurt. Toaster runs into the back of a car. Man,
that was the 21. What? This has gotten interesting.
Very interesting. 22 makes a pass. That is to Deshi. 14 is passing Toaster. We have a car 21 trying to come back up in the middle of the track here.
The 21 is having all sorts of issues. Has he blown a tire, maybe?
You know what? It is very possible.
Like he might be out of fuel because he's really slow.
20. If you blow a tire, you're not able to steer.
is creeping along here. Okay, he exited pit road. Okay, I was like, wow, he's going really slow, but he's coming off of pit road after his stop. But
so who is our new leader now? We have Tedeschi out here. We have 14 of Wonder and Toaster. You know, I'm thinking it is Tedeschi. I don't know where the 2 is, though. I want to see if I can find the 2. Let's take a look if we can find him. We have Ramzit. And a huge crowd of cars right here. He was your leader before. 2 wide, 2 deep. These guys just going through, trying to make something happen here. Let's go take a look. Jose is our leader in that 24 car. I'm trying to find him, guys. Here we go. We got the 24.
He's on the backstretch.
He is on
coming into 3.
We got him. Do we have any guys behind him? He is completely solo. That's going to be rough.
That's the 3 of Blue Baka behind him with the with the big old Hooters logo on the front of it.
If he can hold on to this, this should be the final part of stage 2 here, the final lap. So we'll see if Jose can hold on to it and grab some stage points. Would be excellent if he could. He took half the can only, which puts him out way ahead of everyone else. Remember, guys, he had at least half a second faster car than a lot of these guys, unless they were able to change something from yesterday. But he is absolutely flying out there. Tires are hurting for him, but it is not seeming to hurt too much.
Yeah, he spent that whole time at the end of that front pack, letting off, saving a bunch of fuel. He stayed out a lot longer, was able to take a shorter pit stop, and that's going to get him stage 2.
That is stage 2. Jose is the winner of stage 2. We're moving right over to the final parts of the race here. It's gone very, very fast, and these guys have done a heck of a job. You can't ask for any better racing. That 21, if he is here,
he had to have taken no tires at all race long, and then thought he could make it to the end of the stage on that same set of tires he started the race with, and that ended up not being the case. That's the only thing that makes sense, because he was struggling out there.
Yeah, I want to bring him in for the final interviews here and see if we can talk to him about like what happened with him. I'm thinking he blew a tire, something happened, ran out of fuel. We'll see from his point of view. Here we go. Let's see if we can get these guys on the front row as we start the final part of the race here. We're gonna have 8 of Tom Tom. He is your leader so far. We have Jose on the outside. We are currently sitting with Blue Baca in that 3 car. So far, a pretty good start. 2 wide all the way back, J-Mac.
2 by 2 by 2, and that outside line is falling back and not having a good time trying to hold as everybody tries to work their way to the bottom line, and it's just going to be really, really tough. But right now, that they're fighting back a little bit. I don't know, maybe Blue Baca got the apron a little bit and slowed him down. But now the 24 is now they're falling back, and he got hit, so that kind of helped.
3 wide, almost in the middle pack of the field here, coming off of the wall. I mean, you don't see a lot of racing like this that we could have had in the last game. You can do so much more and able to save your car a lot easier than before. So it's really great to see these guys, but there is a lot of movement. I feel like the cars were more stable on the last game and you could hold a line better, but you can save it better over here, which with how these cars drive, you definitely need it. But these guys are doing a great job. That 3 car, Blue Baca, all over Tom Tom, who is currently leading the race. We have Dohar in 3rd. He is making his way up through the field. Look at these guys. He takes it on the outside. He's got some help from Tedeschi, and those 2 are in a team together in a party communicating. These 2 are taking the outside, and man, they have a nice run. Will they be able to hold it as they head through the turn here? Blue Baca is kind of taking it up a little high there.
Doesn't look like it. Oh!
Yeah.
They're pitching each other, they're making contact.
Tedeschi made some contact. We have a guy trying to make his way back up on track, and man, the amount of speed he had making his way back up, he did a heck of a job not hitting anyone else.
I believe that was the 20 car that took took the Joker lap there down on the backstretch. But right now, these front 7 have, in spite of all of the racing they've been doing, they've managed to pull a little bit of a gap on this middle group.
Yeah, they really have. They're both doing great. We have Blue Baca.
Oh, and meanwhile, the 2 has rooted up the 3.
Yeah, I just saw that. Blue Baca falling back quickly as these guys on the low line are just moving by so fast. We have Toaster, who has been up front the entire night. We have Ramsit, who we saw leading earlier. He is currently up here in 2nd. very, very close. And we have Wonder currently, looks like he's about 6th place. 37 of TAC 24 trying to make the outside work. Let's see if he's got any helpers. He's going to fall to the back of the pack there, along with Wonder. Seems we have the same story tonight, J-Mac. We have a first pack, a pretty big pack, and then we have a second pack, another pretty big pack here.
It's like in that scrum to get to the bottom, there's one spot in the group that kind of checks up and gets checked up and has to lose a lot of time, and that costs them on these restarts. But then usually this front group, they stay all nice and single file, and they work together for a little bit, and they start getting a little antsy and start racing each other, and then that second group starts working their way forward, and here we go. Here's a battle for the lead.
Let's see if we can bring it back up there. We have the 2 on the inside. Toaster hanging out still behind him. Ramsett better protect that bottom. I'll tell you what, Toaster could have made a move on the inside of him, but so far these guys, that high side tucking down beneath that low line here, going back single file. Super David, thank you for the sub. You are awesome. 3 months, amazing. Only one caution so far tonight that I remember. I'm pretty sure just one.
Only one besides the stage breaks. But, yeah, right now we just haven't seen a lot of strength out of that outside line. We haven't seen anyone really use it to try to be real aggressive with it. But so far, if a driver gets knocked to the outside line or opens up that door a little too much, that driver behind him is able to take that inside and move forward. And everybody still, at this point, seems really reluctant to try to use it to move forward.
Yeah, and Ramsett.
Use that outside line, sorry.
Ramsett just has an extremely strong car tonight. He is really on it for Daytona tonight. He's doing a great job. But it seems like Toaster is just hanging on behind him. Let's just get it moving. This is the beginning of stage 3, so they still have a little bit to go here. No sense in fighting it yet. That first pack, they want to break away from that second one. You gotta give it, you gotta put that space between you guys. That way, when you enter on pit road and you do the pit cycles, you're that much better off. What we're gonna look for next, we are gonna have to look out for the pit stops and who is going to be working with who, and what are they gonna do. We had Jose for the final parts of stage 2. He only took fuel and that won him a stage. What are we going to see for strategy for this final part of the race?
Well, a pretty good strategy is to stay hooked up and to pull this front line. That's exactly what Ramsett's doing right now. He's really enjoying his view, and I have to say there is a great feeling whenever you're leading a big old line of cars around Daytona or Talladega, and you see a whole bunch of people in your windshield or in your mirror, and absolutely nothing at your windshield.
You see Tedeschi, who is running up front. He has fallen to the back of the first pack. We're going to see what happens here. I'm curious if we're going to have a couple of guys saving fuel and tires. We'll see what they can do here. What kind of strategy do they have? I see the 21 on pit road. You see Tedeschi.
I believe he's lagged out. He's been there for a little while
now.
now.
We have 37 of TAC. Trying to take a look on the outside. That second pack, though, we'll see if they can catch up to this first one, but pit strategy is going to be very interesting in what they're going to do.
Yeah, this front pack's looking like it's organized, but they're not really on top of each other, so they probably aren't making as much speed as that second group. Well, as I say that, they're side by side back there as Pro Boss has been kicked out of line, so that's definitely not making a lot of speed either. Definitely going to be interesting to see what's going on. This group of 3 here, or 4 actually, with the 8, the 22, the 37, and the 88, they're hanging back a little bit off of the 14, but the 14 and the 3 are hanging back a lot off the 10, and they don't look really content to be making a move. So that tells me they're trying to save something, or they're just giving a lot of room just to try to log some laps here and make it to that next pit stop.
Oh, well, you know Dohar, he is the king of saving. So I would not be surprised if he is one to try to save what he can, where he can.
Ooh.
As he hangs back a little bit. But yeah, there was a lot of movement as we have, it looks like Expert Toaster going up the track here. A lot of
Toaster
movement.
got knocked up the track by the 3-car. Blubaka made a pretty decent move underneath him, was able to push him up, and then they came together a little bit, made a little bit of contact, and then through the trial, the 3 might have hit the apron there and bounced up and just planted the 10-car in the wall. But he was able to keep momentum up and settle into 4th, so it wasn't too bad of a deal for him, but still, that has to be frustrating.
We're on board with Delta Rocket, not having a great night. This guy is all by himself. He does have a little bit of company behind him, but man, oh man, that is a long, lonely ride. We're gonna bring it back up to this front pack. Looks like they're pretty well together at this point, but yeah, we have a little bit of spacing going on up in this front pack. I'm curious if we are gonna see a little bit of saving, but that second pack, they're kind of getting separated a little bit also, giving each other some space there.
I think the 3 and 14 are trying to race right now. They work together to get around the 10, and I don't know if they're together or not, but they look like they don't want to ride very much, so I'd be a little worried. I'd have my eyes in the mirror if I were that 2-car. But there's not a whole lot they can do, because I doubt that 10-car is going to want to help push the 3 to the lead right now as things stands after what happened a few laps ago. So the 2 just holds a pretty wheel here, keeps along the yellow line. I think he'll be all right.
You know what? We talked about it earlier. I love being out front until that final lap. It looks like, from what I'm hearing over the radio, that second pack is catching, but I'll tell you what, Ramsey is sitting in a great place right now. He's really doing well. He obviously has a very, very strong car. Now, when it comes to this final few laps, though, whoever is out front, they're going to have to bring the Earnhardt out in them. They're going to have to defend their position, make sure that no one gets around him. So it's going to get very, very sketchy, I think, in those final few laps, J-Mac.
Yeah, right now that 2-car is in the most low-stress spot in the track, except for maybe the 88. The 88, he doesn't have to worry about anyone in front of him. He can run his own pace, but the next lowest stress place is that 2-car out front. He just has to watch what's going on behind him, and basically he can control himself. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, he just focuses on what he needs to do. He's not having to let off. If there's a group of cars hooked up in front of him, he's not having to worry about the drivers accordioning in front of him. He's not having to worry about a guy behind him running over him. He just got to do what he's got to do, and that's a very good spot to be in.
Absolutely. We'll get the second pack, who has Jose as the leader of that. We're currently on board with the guy who got pole tonight. That is Doc 88 in that 41. He is sitting third in the second pack, and honestly, probably about, I'd say, 10th or so in the field. But man, these guys, it is a long line. We're going to see if they can catch up to them, but we have pit strategies that could work out for them if they use it to their advantage. We're going to see what they choose to do. King Noble asks, is this a huge improvement from 3? 100%. Yes, absolutely. We have a lot
and we're
of
having
guys.
some pit stops from this.
Look at the pit stops going
both
in
groups.
here. Yeah. We have at least 9 guys going in. We have Toaster, we have Cappy, we have Probos, we have Doc, we have Ski, and a ton of guys going in. So if these guys all take the same strategy, they're going to come out together. We have 2 guys stuck together on pit road. We'll see how that affects them.
Basically, the front halves of both packs just pitted, and the back halves of both packs are staying out. So that tells me that there's a little bit of strategy at play here. We'll see how much further they can go than that front pack.
Absolutely. You called it there. Yeah. The front pack has been separated from the back, and we'll see what they can do for pit strategy and how it works out for them. This is the part I love. A lot of it does come down to strategy. You know, you got to stay in that draft throughout the race, but man, one strategy comes out, it really, really changes up everything, and you can just see how much these guys are spread out now. We have these top 3 guys. We have a Tom Tom in that 8. We have Tedeschi, who is currently running 2nd, and we have looks like Dohar in the 88. And like I said from earlier, I know Dohar and Tedeschi are together. I do believe we had one car go in, so that leaves just Tedeschi and Dohar together.
And that's interesting because the 8 car is also with those two. So very interesting that he could not go as far as these other two, as he's been running with them this entire time.
I'm trying to take a look at Ramsett. Ramsett is out here. He has a little bit of a gap between him and the guy behind him. We had someone ask, did Ram get spun? I'm not quite sure, Rangers. We'll see if we can find out. I don't know if he got spun on pit road, but he does have some company behind him. Tedeschi, I just saw him go in.
Him and the 88 are both on pit road.
We'll see who is coming out as a leader where pit cycles have gone through. Delta Rocket just not having a good night. He has been by himself pretty much the entire night, so props to him for hanging in there, because that is a long, lonely race if you're by yourself.
It absolutely is.
Looks like Tack came out 37. He was in that front pack. He is currently completely by himself. Not a good feeling. All right, let's take a look at the 88 and the 22. These guys are coming out. They will be still your leaders here. Tedeschi is in that 22. We have Dohar in the 88.
The 8 is behind them, and right now, I would imagine that if all of these guys were on the same strategy, these two up here, and then the 3 behind them that were part of that second pack, which includes the 19, the 24 of Jose, and somebody else, I feel like these guys are going to be all on the same strategy. I feel like the 8, if he had to come in one lap earlier, he might really, really need to catch these guys or work with somebody and try to save an extra lap of fuel here. I'm not really sure if that's going to work out, that way, but that might be something to watch if he can't quite make it.
These front 2, I do believe they took a can, and the others took a can and a half, so that is going to be the difference. Just a tiny difference, but you can see it right there on track, how it all worked out. '88 is still doing pretty good out there. These guys have a nice gap between them and the guys behind them. They have to hang on to it, though. The second pack has 4 cars. These guys are working with only 2. So they're really going to have to hold it together and stay close. Let's go to this pack behind him. We're in the 20 of Rocky Top. He is currently sitting in 5th there. These guys looking a little back and forth, little weaving. But that is the 19 of Osprey. He is joining us tonight for the Super Speedway. We'll see if these guys can catch up to him. Man, I really wish they had some distance going on for the spectator mode. That would be absolutely amazing. See if we can find out if these guys are catching each other. But with 4 cars, I don't see how they couldn't. We have Jose leading this pack. He is in that 24. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 6 to go. This race is already winding down, and it has been an incredible ride. A great race to bring it back here and show off NASCAR Heat 4, what kind of pack racing you can do and how these guys maneuver around it. And you can see these guys nose to tail. The 24 through 21. These guys running very, very close. You see Expert Toaster in that 10. He was in that front pack for a while.
Yeah, that round of pit stops really mixed up the field a lot.
Look how quickly they are catching that front pack, though, J-Mac. They are quickly approaching. I will not be surprised if the 24 takes it to the outside of Tedeschi and Dohar. And I will also not be surprised if we see Tedeschi do some blocking from that. They have a couple of cars up ahead, though. How is that going to affect them?
Really unfortunate spot.
There they go. Jose taking that
Really
outside,
tough
and
to
we
make
know
that
he
pass.
loves it. These guys are going to have to work around a couple of lap cars. 88 of Dohar squeezes them up there just a little bit. 24 takes over the lead. We're coming down to the final parts of the race here. Jose leaving him out to dry there. 19 of Little Wing. Osprey, that's Osprey, sorry. He takes over and grabs second right behind Jose. Man, what a race.
What a race. Oh, the 99. Yeah, this lap traffic is not helping these guys very much, but Dohar made a move to the outside, and nobody went with him. He's going to fall back here as the laps continue to wind down.
You know, this is the part where I'm getting nervous. Jose, he just took over the lead here. Now, what is he going to do to keep the lead? We only have a few more laps to go, so he's got a huge job ahead of him. 3 to go, so it's going to be very, very close. He's going to have some defending to do. This is the point where I am white-knuckled. I am concentrating on everything around me. I am driving with my rearview mirror more than I'm looking at what's ahead of me. See, they are catching up on yet another lap car. We're going to see how that affects them if they decide to go too wide. I'm not sure how that is going to work out for them if they choose to do that right now, but man, we are coming down to the final parts, and it is getting very, very crazy. Trenton, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Jim, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you guys are enjoying it. What an insane race.
Ooh, the 8 gets shuffled out of line. Just all of these guys struggling to hold a line right now, and at the same time you're just trying to think, when do I make my move, when do I do it? You can't wait too long. So many times these guys wait until the very end, and then there's not a move to make, and you don't get a second chance. You hardly don't even get a first chance. So these guys need to start getting aggressive, but they also need to start running into lap traffic here, because that's also throwing a wrench into everything.
Absolutely. White flag. Here we go. The final lap at the Coca-Cola 400 at Daytona night race. Here we go. Can Jose hold on to it? We have the 20 behind him. That is Rocky Top. We have Tedeschi in third. Can these guys hold him off? They're a little bit of a gap. Tedeschi is trying to build up a run. See if he can make something happen on the outside. Can he do it as we're going to be entering into turn 3? Tedeschi underneath the yellow. Whoa, moves him up the track. This is incredible. J-Mac. Tedeschi takes over second. Here we go. Jose, if he can hold on to it, he's going to be your winner here tonight at the Daytona race. Here we go. Great job to Jose. Man, what a race there.
I don't know if they're using black flag rules there or not, but if they were, I'm not sure that would have been a legal pass, but
No,
they were
it
working their
wouldn't
way.
have.
It looked like the 20 car it looked like as Tedeschi was building up his run, the 20 started cheating a little high to start to block that move. It looked like the 20 was pretty committed to following the 24 there. He wasn't going to wait until the end of that race. And then it looked like Tedeschi filled that hole. Might have stuck his nose under the yellow before the contact started, but we'll have to find out if that's legal in this league. But if it is, it's a good move, and if it isn't, then we'll see.
We'll see what the repercussions are for that, but the top 3 are as follows. We have Jose as your winner, doing a great job. He was the leader of the second pack who caught that first pack, drove it on the outside, made a pass for the win, tucked it back down, and he grabbed himself yet another win for the fall season. Tedeschi, who went under the yellow, pushed a couple of guys out of the way, took home second. We'll see if that's gonna stick. And Little Wing, who we saw have some troubles earlier in the night, he grabs a podium finish here. All right, let's get these guys in the party here. Gotta get them in the booth. And we'll get Little Wing up there in that 21. What an incredible race. Jose, congratulations to you. We've already had you in the booth for a win already here for the season, but man, you were the leader of that second pack. Did you think you're going to be able to catch those two?
Which part? The first part or the last?
The final
laps?
part. Yeah, the final part.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could have. It was just a matter of us staying in like one huge line instead of all of us trying to pass each other.
Right.
Which I know the first part when we were trying to catch up that second group, everybody was trying to race each other, moving up the track. But that's just the way it drives. I don't know why it gets so tight in the corners, but it does. But that was kind of a trouble in the middle. But yeah, just trying to, I don't know, hold my line. I did not take tires that last pit stop, so I didn't think my tires were wearing that bad until I looked with 2 to go. I was down to like 10% tire. I'm like, oh, here we go. And so, but it held on. Thank God this isn't Talladega, because I probably would have popped it in the tri-oval.
And I don't know if the audience, if the audience has not had a blown tire, can't drive it. It is literally impossible. But we heard the strategy there from Jose. Fuel only, no tires, and it brought him home a win. And also, didn't you take home the Stage 2 win? So, some great padding for the points there. Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to you tonight. That's going to be, remind me, 2 wins so far this season, correct?
Yes, 2 wins, yep.
And you are the first repeat winner. We've had, this is the 6th race. We've had 5 different winners, and Jose is going to make the first one to make it 2 wins this season. So that's huge. It's going to help him out in the points, taking home stage also. So congratulations, Jose.
Thank you. Shout out to, I don't know who it was. I think it was Jeremy, the 20 car behind me, that last couple of laps.
Rocky Top.
Rocky, that's right, I was reason 19. 20 car.
Yeah.
Rocky Top. He was pushing me the whole last 10 laps or so.
Absolutely.
So thanks to him. Thanks to whoever was pushing me. Wing was behind me in that pack trying to catch up. I don't know who else. I was too scared to look back.
How do you think, since you're here, how do you think the car reacts to the road compared to NASCAR Heat 3, especially in the draft? Do you find it more of a challenge over here or not so much?
I feel it's a lot more challenging, I think. Not a lot. There's a huge difference. But
yeah,
like I said, you get in a draft, you get someone's draft right up to their bumper, it just launches you up the track.
it really does. We talked about that several times.
It does. I know on the high line on practice, I think Wednesday, we're trying to use that high line and just in the middle of the corner, right behind somebody, just push up the track and hit the wall. And so you're kind of done after that.
Right. Well,
But
you definitely.
there is a difference.
Yeah,
It's a
there is.
good difference.
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, I feel like it's more challenging to hold it steady here, but there's more room for forgiveness. You have some bumps and you're not going to die as quickly as you would on the last one. So that is a great thing. It allows for more pack racing, and the racing was intense tonight. It was awesome. I loved it. So yeah, J-Mac, you got to bring it over to second place of Tedeschi now.
Yes, sir. Howdy there, Tedeschi.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. That was a pretty crazy finish. You two, you and the 88, y'all had the strategy. Y'all were out in the lead, and then that second group was able to run you down, and everything kind of got a little crazy there at the end. Talk about your run to the finish.
We had a really good Shell Penzo Ford Mustang. It's kind of to pull some strategy there at the end. It was just definitely kind of one of my comments in the race. I didn't know this was 465 simulator, and we all just wanted to ride the bottom. It's just kind of tough when you have really no support from one or two cars to try to make the top move. Kind of caused a lot of the stuff there, but I mean, it is what it is. You just have to have an army of people to make the top work. So it's just kind of boxed in, and really track position was important. And Tyler and I and Tom thought it'd be a great idea to take one can there. We ended up being good on the fuel strategy. We just got kind of eaten alive when that whole pack came. The wild finish at the end there, I know Rocky and I were pretty much on the line, tried to get a run to get Jose, but just kind of really ran out of time. Just got to really thank Tyler a lot. Tyler Dohar, he helped me a lot with the setup. Corey on the PlayStation side of Team Penske Esports, he kind of gave me a little tips and tricks because he ran the midnight race at Daytona, so kind of gave me some advice for this. And overall, good momentum, ready to go to Kansas and ready for next week. I think we're going to Martinsville, so really excited for that.
And I've been watching that pass at the end on the 20, like the Zapruder film. It looked like you went below the yellow line first, but I've watched it back a little bit. It looked like you were there. You had a little bit of position and then got forced down. So I think I called that one wrong. But just a really, really, really fun race to watch there at the end. And congratulations on the second place finish.
Yeah, thank you very much. Like I said, shout out to everyone watching. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Shout out to all the viewers. Like I said, AKA is always great racing, and we'll continue to do so.
Absolutely. All right, Little Wing, we had you in the booth so far this season, but tonight, bringing home the podium. How you feeling tonight with that car?
Well, it was a very good points finish for the 21 Menards Ford Mustang tonight. Ran very, very well. I thought I was going to be able to finish second with Jose in the second stage, but wasn't meant to be. Worked really well with Jose all night. Had a couple of bumps along the way, but it was a fantastic race. I cannot express that enough. It was so fun. It was a great handling car, and everything just fell in my lap. I was just there at the end.
That is a great thing to hear. Take me through, if I am not mistaken, I thought I saw your car flipping through the air. First of all, was that you?
I was in the Dutch Boy Menards paint scheme. I was not in the Motorcraft one.
Okay. All
Tonight,
right.
that was not me. I had a separate incident. Me and Jose at the towards the end of the second stage, we were trying to pit together, and some cars exiting pit road. We were trying to navigate that. I navigated it poorly and got caught up in an incident, and that was my incident. I don't know what happened to the sister car.
Well, you did a great job tonight bringing it home. A top 3 finish here. That is obviously going to do great for points, and great job. Yeah. How are you feeling about next week's race?
Martinsville, the short tracks are a bit scary for me. It's a bit out of my element, but I'm going to try my best. That's all I can hope for, is just try my best. So
yeah.
it's going to be a good one.
I think we're going to Auto Club trucks.
Yeah, Auto Club in the trucks.
Yes, I believe it is Auto Club.
Interesting.
And then I think the week after that is Martinsville.
Martinsville.
I think so.
So next week we're going to take a little visit. We're going to get out of the Cup Series and back into where it all kind of started here in the trucks. So it'll be very interesting to see what these guys do. So I got to ask Jose and Little Wing, how do you feel about trucks? Is that your thing, or you're kind of like, not looking forward to it?
I love all 3 series.
Nice.
I am very much looking forward to it. Anytime I can get into a truck or an Xfinity car, it's always a fun time.
Well, I can't wait to see what you do there. Jose, how about you?
Ooh. Trucks,
Not so much.
between Heat 3 and Heat 4, I've probably ran 3 truck races.
I hear you.
I made one setup for Homestead. That was for the World Challenge back on Heat 3 they were doing.
Oh, geez.
And that was pretty much my only truck setup that I've made. So we will see what to do on that one. Shouldn't be any different, but kind of weak spots for me since I don't really run the trucks at all. So
right. Well, you guys heard it here. We are going to Auto Club in the trucks next week. And do not forget, we are going to have the AKA giveaway brought to you by AKA Johnny Rocket, who was gracious enough to give us a copy of the Gold Edition. So stay tuned next week and join in for the giveaway. You could win yourself a copy. It is a physical copy, so it will be mailed to you. But I'm excited for it. And what a race. We're going to go to Auto Club in the truck. So I'm excited. It'll be around 8:45 p.m. Eastern time. And that'll be next Sunday. So great race to you guys tonight. Congratulations on the win, Jose and Little Wing. Congratulations on that podium. But that's all we have tonight,
Thank you.
J-Mac. It was a great night tonight. Absolutely.
Yep,
J-Mac.
definitely a interesting race. Sorry. I thought I was muted, and so I went to unmute it, and it was like mic off, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not muted. Yeah, no, that was a fun race to watch. Very, very interesting to finally see with our own eyes how plate racing is with full setups on this game, and didn't really get to see a whole lot of true pack racing, but definitely got to see a bunch of guys draft and some really good racing there at the end as different strategies tried to kind of collided there, and Jose was able to come home with the win.
Absolutely. All right, we are over for tonight. I will see you guys next week at Sunday, 8:45 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, you guys have a great week. We will be back live tomorrow around 7 p.m. We'll be doing some racing. But until then, have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in for these drivers. I know they appreciate it, as do I. And thank you for the subs out there tonight. You guys are absolutely amazing. Take it easy.